Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 3 upsets to bet. And I have to say, thank you for supporting the video yesterday. Keep hitting the like button. Keep sharing the videos. And I think this is an extremely important transmission, maybe the most important video of the year. Let's get to the first game. Let's get to the underdogs. First game, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Tennessee Titans. Packers plus 2.5. I told you guys yesterday, I'm pretty sure Jordan Love is going to play, and it opened at plus 3. Now it's down to plus 2.5. And I think that is a little breadcrumb saying Jordan Love's going to be out there. According to beat reporters from the Packers, the training staff had to hold him back by force for him not to be out there. I do think he'll be out there. And I'm not saying this is going to be vintage playoff Jordan Love we saw from last year, but I think it will be effective enough to be able to beat the Titans. And I'm looking at the Titans, and I like what Callahan's doing. When I watch these first 2 Titans games, I don't know if any coach had a better script the first 10, 15 plays of the game offensively. And you saw the Titans had rhythm. They had good run pass balance, and Will Levis looked fine in the first half. But the problem with Will Levis, he starts crumbling as games goes on, and he's an absolute turnover machine. We just can't dismiss this. Like, I absolutely love this Titans secondary. I do. But there's only so much defense you can play when a guy's giving away 2 or 3 times a game. And when that game shifted against the Jets was when the Titans were in the red zone and Will Levis tried to lateral as he was getting sacked, and it was about as bad as it gets. And I think we've seen Callahan lose confidence already, I think. And Green Bay is quite contrary, man. You win a game with Malik Willis in this league, that gives you confidence. And I saw something out of Green Bay I feel like I haven't seen in the LaFleur regime. They were physical, they were gritty, and we saw Josh Jacobs absolutely go off. I do like the way this Green Bay offensive line matches up with the Tennessee Titans front 7. I think Green Bay is going to run the ball, and I want to make it clear, like, I'm not expecting 100% Jordan Love. I'm expecting a 75% Jordan Love, and I think that's enough to beat Will Levis. And I want to just echo one thing Callahan said, and it's scary. After the Bears game, they were up 17-0 in the second half. He said if he's just punted it on first down every single offensive drive, they would have won. And I think that says everything. I think Will Levis is on a short leash, and I don't trust Will Levis. I love his deep ball, but he's not using these weapons right. I like this Packers defense in this game. Give me the Packers plus 2.5. Feeling really good about it. Making a money pick. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears, at the Indianapolis Colts. Bears plus 1. I have so much respect for Shane Steichen. I feel like he's one of the best offensive minds we have in this league. But with that being said, I think my preseason betting power rankings ranking the Colts at 27 looks about right. I'm on the under 8.5 wins on Patreon, and I feel good about that. And a lot of it's due to Anthony Richardson. I know the Colts have a top 5 offensive line, and I know the weakness of the Chicago Bears is that underbelly, the defensive tackles. I feel like you can run it on the Bears, but there is limiting returns at a certain point. Eventually, you have to complete passes from the pocket, and I think the jig's up on Anthony Richardson. He's no longer that joker card that you fear, and I'm not a Caleb Williams guy. You guys saw me lose my temper with some of the slop that was being posted by people I actually respected, comparing him to Pat Mahomes for one scramble in a preseason game against third stringers. But I did see some progress from Caleb Williams against the Texans. I feel like people are discounting how good good this Texans defense is. And I'm not going to discount the weapons that the Bears have in their arsenal. I think they have more weapons than the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, than the Colts. And when I look at the Colts, man, I just see a lack of firepower on offense. Like, I love the offensive line, but there's only so much you can do. And this is the last thing I want to say. I think the Colts have one of the worst secondaries in the league. But with DeForest Buckner being out now, man, I fear for this defense. Caleb Williams has a great matchup here. Give me the Bears +1. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New Orleans Saints. Eagles +3. Yeah, and this caused a mutiny, and I understand why. Let's give credit to the Saints, and I'm very happy for Carr. The big issue out of Carr the last 2 years with the Saints is he's afraid to stand in the pocket and take a hit. And he kind of had the yips. And you saw it with the checkdowns, especially when he's against any sort of decent defense. I mean, you can't play the Panthers every week. But we have seen him evolve. We have seen Olave and Shaheed get open down the field. And that's dangerous. And that's the weakness. That's the underbelly of this Philadelphia Eagles defense. But I do want to say, I think this Saints team just put together two outliers. Do I think they're 30 points better than the Cowboys? No. Do I think they're better than the Cowboys? No. Any given Sunday is a phrase for a reason. And I think the Eagles are in an Alamo situation. Now, let's be honest about the Eagles. I'm not a Sirianni guy. Like, I honestly feel like he's the Flavor Flav of the NFL. Like, he's a good hype man. He gets everyone going like, let's get it, let's get it. And he does that bit. But there's very little there, and I believe there is a Hurts-Sirianni feud. But let's be honest, man. Kellen Moore made 3 critical errors in that game, all in the second half. And I'm not even counting the 4th down in the first quarter. Like, I think the Eagles are going to steady the ship, and I think they're going to get back to running the football. And I want to echo back to something. I don't know if the Saints are as good on the defensive line and offensive line as people are thinking. Like, there's one matchup I'm watching in this game. Like, I'm watching Jordan Davis against Cesar Ruiz. Like, and I think that's the pivotal matchup, because if Carr's getting pressure up his gut, we're going to see old Carr, and that means the Eagles win the game. I just think this is an Alamo situation. I think there's a lot of overreaction with the Eagles. And listen, I felt like the Falcons would cover. I told you guys, I felt like the Falcons could win the game. But didn't we overreact to the Falcons in week 1? Sometimes you have to stay firm, and I'm staying firm with the Eagles. I get the circumstances. Short week. They were on Monday night. They were booed on their home turf. The boo started like in the second drive. But give me the Eagles +3 against the Saints. I think the Saints come back down to reality, and Bryce Young's not walking through that door. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Seattle Seahawks. Fins +4.5. I don't like doing this. I really don't. Listen, I hope Mike McDaniel recovered from what happened on Thursday night against the Bills. Because if this is Mike McDaniel in full form, we're going to see Skylar Thompson be somewhat effective. And we're going to see this Seattle Seahawks defense tested. I got to be honest. I was not impressed by what I saw of the Hawks defense against the Patriots. Maybe I did overrate this Hawks defense going into the year. And you analyze this game and you think, okay, do the Fins have fight left? Are they going to dig deep? Are they going to really go into this game trying to win, trying to save the season? We're only 2 games in, but it does feel like the season's on the line. And we saw Skylar Thompson cover an 8.5 and give the Bills a scare in the playoffs. We're not betting 2 years ago, but I do think that's relevant to this game. A full week of game planning. And that offensive line obviously needs work. And we know Seattle's got some good defensive linemen. But give me the Dolphins to make bigger plays. I also think this Dolphins defense is underrated. Like, they did not play bad against the Bills, but when you turn the ball over 3-4 times, get stuffed on fourth down, there's not much a defense can do against an elite quarterback like Josh Allen. Last part of this game, I'm just not sold on Geno Smith. I feel like he's getting progressively worse. You remember when he finally got that job and he played very, very good football, barely turned the ball over. We know how many weapons the Seattle Seahawks offense has. But, man, I'm worried about this offense if Kenneth Walker doesn't play. Miami with an underrated defense could pull a little bit of a shock. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Oh, yeah, we got Jags against Bills. I'm joking. But I do think the Jags play better than people think in that game. Hit the like button. Share the videos. Let's get this money. Over-unders will be up Wednesday night.